Hey, what's up everyone? When it comes to weapon wielding fighting games, there's a few worth mentioning. Soul Calibur, Samurai Shodown, and Battle Arena Toshinden, just to name a few. But there's a franchise that's looked under the radar. This is the Kengo franchise. The first game is Kengo, Master of Bushido. This is developed by Genki and published by Crave Entertainment. I have heard of Crave Entertainment before. I believe Crave is responsible for Galarians. I like that game. So what can I say about Kengo? You start off with one of 3 default characters with different builds. Once you select your character, you choose your dojo to represent. After picking your character in dojo, you will get a brief cutscene about the history of Japan's Goryeo period. In the beginning, you will learn your basics, which is attack, block, and parry. All you can perform using the circle, X, and square button, respectively. So if you think you could just perform a quarter circle attack, no, you just press buttons. After you learn the basics, you will test your might by sparring with 10 students from the dojo, and then the master. All that sounds simple, but this is an endurance battle, which means your health carries over from the last battle. After that, that's pretty much the core of the game. You visit dojos and challenge the students and face the master. You probably noticed that there's no background music. Well, that's because this game has none. Now, you can also modify your attack forms to have some useful combos. There isn't much of a story, but there are some mini games you could play to level up your stats. The mini games include Striking Post, which is a QTE button sequence simulator. You just strike on this tree until it breaks. The post will have a health gauge just to let you know how much you got left to strike. If you press the wrong input, your duration of the timer will be deducted. Now there's Waterfall. At first I didn't know what I was doing here. I guess I was just watching my character sit under a waterfall, but no. I then scrolled down and saw that you have to press the circle button to raise your spirit or recover HP. This is kind of a tug-of-war game between your HP and raising your spirit. Your input will increase your character's spirit to level up. Just don't spam. You will lose consciousness if you have no HP. In Bamboo Grove, you just have to cut down as many bamboo stalks before time run out. This will increase your agility. In Zen Meditation, I'm not really a fan of this minigame. Basically, you have to maintain the balance in the meter below by using the D-pad. But I swear, the meter is slippery. The consequences is basically your character will fall asleep, and the instructor will boink you in the head to wake you up and focus. The last minigame I will talk about is Illusion. This is an interesting minigame. You're surrounded by candles and you have to strike a 360 to make all the candles' flame vanquish. It looks cool, but the gameplay is eh. Gameplay wise, you're supposed to press the circle button when the cursor is on the timing target. It gets faster the more closer you are to finishing. Well, that's the first Kengo game. It's a hit or miss game. Mostly miss. The next game is Sword of the Samurai, also known as Kengo 2, Legacy of the Blade. This game is only available in Japanese and PAL regions. The PAL version is brought to you by Genki and Ubisoft. The mode includes Bushido Quest, Time Attack, and Versus. And I'll be honest, the only thing I focused on was the Bushido quest. When you start Bushido quest, you have a face selection from a template as well as a body type. After you're done, you name your character and you're greeted with the first game cutscene. The game starts off as a wandering swordsman observes the outdoor tournament happening. He gets excited by the action and spars. You're offered to stay at a village and become a student to craft your swordsmanship. While you're at home, this is your main hub. When your character is in movement, you have a choice to participate in the outdoor tournament, the unofficial tournament, and the dojo. The outdoor tournament is where you try out your skills on swordsman. Every time you defeat an opponent, a new challenger wants to get in the action. The downside though is, it's once again an endurance battle. Your health will slightly increase in between fights. Once you lose a match, you will be back home with improved stats. However, it is wise to rest. If you don't, your health will not be full. In the unofficial tournament, you once again fight swordsmen, but this time, you use real swords. If you lose, you die. So it's very wise to save before entering this tournament, because once you die, you will lose all your progression. Make sure to save, seriously. The combat is lethal. Depending on the swords play, the combat could be a one-shot kill. Oh my gosh. Now the dojo. For the most part, the dojo will teach you the basics. Attacking, blocking, and breaking guards. The running and the sidestepping is a huge improvement compared to the first Kengo. When you're nearly done with the dojo training, guess what? More endurance battles. Hooray. Once you pass your challenges, you can fight other dojos and learn new skills. So let's just say you don't want to do these challenges and choose to bout. It's not worth it in my opinion. But if you defeat the master when you bout, nothing happens. He just admits defeat, and that's it. Back to the hub. That's pretty much it for Kengo 2. That's all it has to offer. The last game to talk about is Kengo, Legend of the Nine for the Xbox 360. Developed once again by Genki and published by Majesco Entertainment. This is a prequel. Also, this game is known as Kengo Zero in Japan. And the game plays like a hack and slash, which works for this game. And what's that I hear? Is that music? Oh right, finally! So when you start the main game, your characters are legendary swordsmen in Japan's history. You unlock more characters the more you progress in the game, but you will start with one of 3 default characters. The game is pretty simple though. You have your quest to get to the boss. I'll give you an example. So you fight a swarm of enemies, and after you finish them off, it's boss time. I also like that there's a lock-on feature to specifically attack the enemy when you're surrounded. As long as you have stamina, the parry method is really good. You could deal a huge chunk of health. The stamina system works a little bit like the Dark Souls games, but slower. When you attack, it drains stamina. When you parry, it drains stamina. And when you run, it drains stamina. This game wants you to be patient and not rush things. This game will punish you if you're reckless. You could be one-shotted. After defeating the boss, you can save and level up your character. You can also learn new moves with the experience you gain. Kengo Legend of the Nine is quite entertaining and I am shocked. Alright, so that's 3 games in the Kengo franchise. I should note that there is a 3rd game in the PS2 library. However, I didn't go over it because it's only released in Japan. So out of the 3, it's pretty obvious which is the best game. Legend of the Nine is a huge improvement, and it keeps you entertained. If I was to compare it to a game, it would be close to a washed down Dynasty Warrior type game. And I didn't mean that in a bad way. The fact that there's music in the game means a lot. In the previous games, there's nothing. All you hear is ambience, maybe some birds, and that's it. But the combat kinda sucks. The game encourages you to be patient and wait for an open window to attack. The problem that I have is that the hit detection sucks. There's moments in Kengo 1 and 2 that I know my sword should have hit my opponent. But no, because I wasn't patient, it doesn't count. The gameplay feels more like a chore than actually playing a video game. In my opinion, I have more fun playing rock, paper, scissors than play those two games. It's very mediocre and boring. I always wonder why no one talks about the Kengo games, but now I see why. It's very forgetful. Legend of the Nine would be the best in the series. However, I will give you some better suggestions. Samurai Shodown Sen, which I hear most people don't like, but I don't know. I enjoyed it and had more fun playing this than the Kengo games. Bushido Blade, which is a predecessor of the Kengo games. Onimusha Blade Warriors, which is like a Smash Bros. Clone, but with Onimusha characters. Anyways, that's all I have for the Kengo games. I won't really recommend these games, except for Legend of the Nine. That one is okay. The other two are just bad. Not even so bad it's good. It's just bad. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I'll have more videos in the future as well, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. I am out. Peace.